Welcome to my, I believe, fourth video. We're going to be going over an album that I was not planning on talking about, at least for a little bit. But as of right now, today is the July 19th. On the 21st, last night, he just said he's going to drop a surprise album on the 21st. So I thought, what better time to talk about his music than right now? We're going to be going over an album that was released in 2017. A big album for his, considering, his kind of second wave of popularity. And I am wearing his merch right now just for this video, and I'll definitely be wearing it for the other albums that I'll talk about, because this will definitely not be the last album I'll talk about for him. And this artist in particular was kind of the reason I started this series or type of videos, because I really like buying his vinyl CDs and merch and whatnot, because you could tell there's a lot of time put into it. You could tell, especially with the music, he put a lot of cool stuff in his products, and you definitely get more than what you think you're going to get when you buy his physical albums. Can y'all guess what I'm talking about? Drum roll, please. Boom. We got Flower Boy by Tyler, the Creator, formerly known as Scumfuck Flower Boy. You could tell I got two different CDs with two different covers. Now, this was the original one, or at least the one he announced it with when he first announced it back in 2017 online. And then it got changed to this cover, and the title was shortened to Flower Boy. I'm assuming you can't have the word fuck in your album title. That's just my guess. I don't really know. So yes, so this album was originally designed by Tyler, the Creator. You could tell if you can't tell, it's sealed. So we're gonna do an unboxing. I still have it sealed. I guess I never opened it, but this one definitely been opened and listened to, as you can tell. So we're gonna be going through two CDs. It's gonna be kind of a long video, so strap in, get ready, pause. And this was, like I said, his fifth. No wait. Bastard, Goblin, Wolf, Cherry Bomb, Flower Boy, his fifth fifth album. And though I like Cherry Bomb, it was probably his least liked album that he's ever released. I still think Cherry Bomb is pretty good. It's not my top Tyler album, but it's definitely not my bottom Tyler album. And this was kind of his, comeback album for some people. For other people, it was their introduction to Tyler, because this is kind of an image changer for him, which I'll go through a little bit later. And it definitely made him a way bigger artist than he originally was. So you could tell just from the cover, it's a very laid back album. And a lot of his covers, there's a type of character that he's playing if you ever look really closely. In the Igor album, he's got his Igor character. In Cherry Bomb, he's got his Cherry Bomb character. But this one, you could tell, is just him. This album revolves around just him as a person. It kind of goes through what he was going through at the time. I interpret it as there's a lot of topics on, loneliness, anxiety, and stuff like that. So you can kind of see that through here. And he dropped this album, introduced this album with the single Who Dat Boy, which starts off with these crazy strings, a kind of a countdown. It was a perfect single, in my opinion, for this album. And it was the first one that wasn't released on the Odd Future YouTube page. It was kind of his unofficial departure from Odd Future. He signed it with, I believe, Columbia. And this is the start of his new YouTube page. I like to think this is the start of the Tyler, the Creator, as a solo artist. Truly, with this album, even though he obviously was a solo artist before. But all that being said, the Who Dat Boy song came out, features A$AP Rocky. It's a great music video. It's very Tyler, in Tyler fashion. And so that's kind of the history of this project. Now we can talk about the product itself. So we'll go through the first one, and then we'll unbox the second one. So with this one, I'll put the mic down. You can see the cover, and on the back, you got the B. Oh, wait, that reminds me. Sorry, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. But on promotion of this album, If you live in LA or around LA, at the time he had dropped, I can't remember if he posted on Twitter, but he said, go look for the buildings in Los Angeles and Venice for bees, which is a picture of this bee. And I live around there, so me and my friends went, but we thought we were smart. We thought everybody's going to be in LA. So we actually drove over to Venice to see if we can find the Venice one. And by coincidence, there was another building with a big ass bee on it. So we thought it was that building, and we were fools and stood around that, or like drove around that building looking for some shit, and there wasn't. And unlike LA, there's only one building with a bee. So LA had different locations. Venice only had one. And eventually we did find it. But by the time we got there, they were giving away shirts. All the shirts were gone. So I was kind of bummed about that. But it was a cool experience. And I think I ended up getting the shirt anyways. But who knows? I can't remember. But anyways, back to the albums. One of these I bought online. I believe it was this one. And I think I bought this one at Camp Flogna. But I cannot remember. But back to this. We got the bee on the back. We got the Tyler looking out into the flower, looking out into the fields. He got the bees all over, and you could see right there, he's got his McLaren. He's really into McLarens at the time. I think he samples it throughout the album. I haven't looked through this in a minute, so this is gonna be a first time that I've seen it for a while. But you got the two photos of Tyler. So this one on the right says, an amazing photographer and I took some photos for this album that were supposed to go here, but her agents or whatever the fuck said that it couldn't happen, so I relied on cell phone pics. Love you. Bunch of stars. Censor word next time. Smiley or frowny face. And then the two black colored fonts say album photos go here. So I remember this side is empty. This is where the CD goes. It's in my car, but I will probably be in the other one since it's sealed. I'll show you that one. And then, you can't see it, sorry. Right here, you got a photo album. You could tell I like the kind of very color block aesthetic he's got going on here. That one's yellow. You can see the very bright blue. And it kind of goes through photos of the album. And then in a really cool way, I'm trying to do it like this. It's got lyrics to all the songs. I really like this. Oh, there's the credits, but it's got lyrics. I don't know if you remember, but he posted this online too. But yeah, it's got all the lyrics, and then the front cover, it says, since I had no photos, we took photos on the spot in order to get the album turned in on time, but they suck, so we used behind the scene ones. So there you go. Let me see if there's anything of note else besides that. Yeah, and then at the very end, oh yes, these were the shirts. If you remember, maybe I might put a photo, but there was like a shirt that had these fucking photos and text boxes, which says, can I get a kiss and take me back to November? And then right here you got another photo that says album photo. Oh yeah, and it says the Columbia Records. So there you go. It's pretty cool to go through. You can read all the lyrics. You can definitely find this online too. So that's what this one comes with. I'll put that back in the album sleeve. Well, maybe I'll do that later. All right. So now we have this one, which I'm going to open up right now on video. You know what time it is. Let me get was not prepared for this. Let me get we got the Daiso scissors. Let me put shit. Should be more prepared, but I do this all on the spot, one take. I did not do that correctly. Oh, here we go. Perfect. All right. Unboxing or unsealing. Trying to do this in one hand. Perfect. Wow. It is the same kind of paper material as the other one. I have a feeling it's going to have the same contents, but we'll go through it. Whoa. Yeah, same thing. Damn, this shit's been sitting there since 2017. Yeah, same exact thing. But now I guess I have the CD, which I could show you guys. Damn, look at that shit. Actually, that's different than what came in the other one. The other one, if I have it, I'll take a photo. I just don't want to get out of my seat right now, and I'll post it. But look at that. You could probably see the reflection of myself. That is actually pretty sick. Yeah, it's not a flimsy sticker either, but oh shit. Well, yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Unboxing. So I'm trying to get this. Oh, there you go. All right. So now that we did the unboxing of the album, let's talk about the album itself. So let me just get on my notes here. I apologize. So yeah, every song was produced by Tyler himself, as most Tyler albums are. I believe there was a Steve Lacy co-production on Glitter, but according to this, it was all produced by Tyler himself. And when it comes to the vocals and the stories of the song, of the music, as I mentioned earlier, it's a more simpler type of music than Cherry Bomb. Not in a bad way. Cherry Bomb was very experimental. It kind of deviated away from Tyler's, like more rapping and more kind of distorted vocals and I apologize, and singing. While this one, it was definitely Tyler did the raps, and then when it came to the hooks of the song, it was usually done by another artist. I think he said in an interview that he wanted to rap as least as possible on here, though I don't think it lacks any type of rapping. I could tell where he's coming from, as a lot of the hooks was done by other artists, and I'll go over the features in a little bit. But yeah, so it was a more simpler, and I believe the song, or I know the songs are more straight to the point. And it was a story of just him being himself, going through life at the time. A lot of loneliness and a lot of anxiety topics kind of go throughout this album, which is different than his other albums in a sense, where this one he's talking about himself, while in the other albums before this and even after this, he kind of talked about it through a character that he created. And this was definitely a departure, as I was kind of explaining earlier, from his old, I should say Odd Future Tyler, because it was very less of shock value and more, it spoke more with the music itself, and his older projects, though, I think it was really good. He definitely caught the attention through the lyrics that he said, the crazy sounds that he used. And this one, it was definitely, less of that, and he spoke more with the music. And I feel like the music was more condensed, more polished, and more, it cut the fat off the music. Other things was that a lot of, like I said, the hooks were done by singers. I feel like there's very few, rapping verses, one by Lil Wayne and one by A$AP Rocky. And I guess you might consider Frank on the 911 song, but they're mostly hooks, singing features rather than rapping features. And the last thing I wanted to say about this with the vocals is definitely his more kind of pop, not in a bad way like sellout pop, but more very it expresses it more people, the palette is more general in a sense, where this and I think this is what made him I'm stuttering over my words, made him such a bigger artist, is because this music could relate to most people. The sound of the music can relate to most people, and it's definitely like I said, because less shock value, which means more people will probably tune into it and won't be afraid to play this in front of their parents. And also, it was definitely an introduction to Rex Orange County. I guess I can go into the features now. It was definitely a big introduction to Rex Orange County, and I feel like since this album, his last album was a big introduction to Cali. This one was Rex, and I feel like each album always introduces a new artist to the scene. And this one was Rex Orange County. Cali was on this, and I think she probably has the biggest, most popular feature on here for the "See You Again" song. And sorry, I'm pulling up my notes. I think some standout features was Jaden Smith, or unexpected standout features was Jaden Smith. He was pretty good on his hook, and Estelle. Obviously, Estelle is gonna have it's gonna be a solid feature, but I think her shit really was really good, and I think she fit that song of Garden Shed really perfectly, and that was a perfect addition to the song. And of course, we got Frank Ocean on here as well. I think his features were super underutilized, but when he was on the track, it was really good. And he sang the hook on Where This Flower Blooms, but on the 911 song, he kind of did a little rapping, which is, a little different from Frank. And I feel like it was a cool addition. I just wish he had more bars for it. And I wish he was definitely on the hook more for Where This Flower Blooms. Or I should say maybe done like a bridge or something, because I feel like the hooks was just, and he cut the second hook halfway through, so I feel like it was definitely a tease, but glad to have him on the project regardless. Wayne has his own song kind on Dropping Seeds. Tyler's at the very end, but it's basically a Wayne song. That was really sick. It was kind of, I like to consider that maybe a little bit interlude, but it was pretty good. And of course, ASAP Rocky. I think you see the chemistry between Tyler and ASAP Rocky as rappers on the same song. So that was really cool. And for my favorite hook, though, it's got to be Steve Lacy on, not hook, favorite feature, because I feel like it was the most catchiest. And I think he interpolated the Gap Band on 911 on the second part of that song. He was really good. And not only as him on 911, but doing production on Glitter as well. I mentioned that earlier. You could tell his guitars in the background. He did work, and I know he did work on some other tracks, but those ones stood out to me and they're really good. So now, lastly, to go over kind of my favorite songs. I Ain't Got Time was a fantastic song. That sample that he did, I can't remember the name, but I knew it was like a belly dance song. That was really good. I love when he interpolates Shane Powers. He did that on Cherry Bomb, and I think he does like the skits, and he's really funny, and I feel like that kind of added to the theme throughout this album. He's kind of like driving in his McLaren, so I feel like him as kind of the radio show host when he's listening in the McLaren is always a good time, always a good skit, always makes me laugh. Like I said earlier, Dropping Seeds was a great track, and Glitter. So I'd say those are probably my top three. I wouldn't even say I have a least favorite. There's no skips on this album. They're pretty good. Oh, I just remembered the last track, Enjoy Right Now Today. It's an instrumental track, but I love when artists put an instrumental track somewhere throughout the album, especially if they produced it. I feel like it's a good either interlude or a good kind of rolling credits. And I know there's like hidden Pharrell vocals at the end of it, but I really, really thought that was a great closer. I wish he did that with most of his albums, but it's good regardless. So I think that's all I have to say about this album. I've been yapping too long. It's only almost 20 minutes, but regardless, it's a great album. I will put this probably on the Tyler ranking. I'll probably put this at number 4. I'm a huge Tyler fan, so please don't get mad at me, but it was a great album. And yeah, I'm excited for the album he's about to drop in 2 days. Don't tap the glass or something like that. This would be great. And I'll definitely talk about that album when it comes out. All right. See y'all.